Alright, hello guys, we should be live right now. Let me make sure. I always go through this process where I think I'm live, maybe I'm not, something like that. Let's see. Okay, we are live, that's the good news. Hello, welcome. We're going to briefly talk about the severe weather going on across North Dakota and Minnesota here as well. I know it looks like a sloppy mess here. All I got to talk about here before I get rid of all this purple all over the place is that this purple means that that's a particularly dangerous situation, and already WSV3 is not responding. Let's look at the task manager. Looks like we're doing fine. I don't know why that happened. So, oh boy. That means basically we're in for a long day. Let's get rid of all this stuff. Alright, now we just gotta let it load again. So how's everybody's day going? I just don't know what else to talk about here. Let's see. Okay, we're getting it loaded up. Alright, basically that purple area is a particularly dangerous situation. And it's not a tornado watch, it's actually, I believe, yeah, severe thunderstorm watch. You know what this means? They are expecting some damaging wind that could do enough damage to be particularly dangerous. That's exactly what this is about. This one before it here was not a particularly, I always struggle with that word, particularly dangerous situation, no. And now I can get rid of those things because they kind of clutter up the screen. I just knew I needed to talk about it, obviously, but now that I have, we can take it away. Right off the bat, I just want to mention one thing. Actually, I'm making an interesting observation here as well that I will share with you guys. These ones over here are kind of more multicellular, just kind of scattered around here. You know it's a high CAPE event when you see a storm back to back, like you see this one come through and then this one. That means that one storm was not enough to eat up all the CAPE, which means we have high CAPE. This one as well is multicellular, just like these two. All of these are kind of just pulse thunderstorms, I would say. Everything in between. And this could be an interesting lesson that people could learn from. And then we have a linear storm mode over here, where it's more of a bow echo. Look at how it bows out. And the telltale sign, I guess, is these little curves out here. That's when you know you are dealing with some damaging wind along the front of this. And I'm sure that's why we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damaging wind reports just behind this storm. So that basically, that confirms what I'm saying right now. But yeah, I hope that makes a lot of sense. It's not officially a derecho. It's kind of derecho-like. That's kind of how I described it earlier. But yeah, it's not a derecho because a derecho actually isn't about kind of the current conditions. It's about how long the conditions last. So it would just depend on a lot of things. We won't know until a long time from now if it's a derecho. I don't think it's going to be. I haven't heard that anywhere at least. This is for northern North Dakota, or maybe central North Dakota, and then also northern Minnesota. That's where this is for. Somebody asked. What is the website? This is WSV3. It's kind of a radar program. Really, really cool program here. Sorry, I got a little sidetracked there. I'm not a good multitasker, so I kind of stop talking whenever I do anything else. Thank you, everybody, for congratulating me on 100,000 subscribers. I really appreciate it. By the way, if you want to help kind of get the word out about this stream and just help us reach more people, you can like it. That's all you got to do. It's not really hard to do. Oh, I got to get rid of that. Do finish and then clear. All right, sweet. We can put it in motion as well, and this kind of just shows you the violence of this storm, the way it kind of, it almost looks like a fire spreading. It's never a good sign when it looks like that. Thank you for the congratulations, guys. I really, really appreciate it. These storms are really blowing up here too, but the difference here is with this storm mode, we're not seeing damaging wind, we're seeing hail reports actually. These are a completely different type of storm. This one over here, not seeing any hail reports, seeing a bunch of damaging wind reports though. And this right here, it looks to be a outflow boundary or a gust front, and these can actually create some windy conditions. But you don't get any precipitation with them. So if you've ever had wind in front of a thunderstorm or you've seen something on radar like this, that's exactly what that is. Thank you, Sergio Hernandez. Can you speak about the disturbance that is supposed to hit the Texas coast when you get the chance? Any chance it'll hit Houston? I have not heard about a disturbance that's supposed to hit Texas, but I can assure you that if there is one, I will be touching on that very soon, if there will be one. My goal this year is to basically make a forecast for every single tropical disturbance in the Atlantic this year, and so far I think I've done a nice job. I think there was one we skipped because it wasn't going to hit any land. But thank you for the donation. Thank you so much. Will this move into Wisconsin? As far as I know, eventually it will. Not tonight. And it's going to be much more damaging throughout the night tonight. And obviously about right now as well. What we're going to start to see is going to kind of begin to track more southward. The interesting thing here is what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to turn off, I don't know why this is on either, but we're going to turn off our radar data. And I want to turn off the warnings too because they look kind of cluttered there. All right. The HRRR model has been like spot on for this event so far. The NAM model had it much, much further south here in the Dakotas. But our HRRR model, here, let me get my radar color table. That was the WSV3 color table. This is our custom direct weather color table. Let us know which one you like more. Again, here's the WSV3 one. Then here's that direct weather one. So I like obviously I made mine handmade, so of course I like my own more. But yeah. All right, now let's skip it towards 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which would be, this is Central Time, so I'm sure this is about 7 p.m. It should be a different time, obviously. It's a little hard to do the math always. Now, as I move more closer to about 8 p.m. Central Time. Now here was our original line of thunderstorms right here. This was the bad one we were taking a look at right now. And then here's that kind of secondary one that's developing, but it's multicellular right now. So this model actually has it eventually, the second one getting its act together as well throughout the night tonight. So we will have to see how that plays out. And then eventually it actually becomes a lot more multicellular as it moves into the state of Minnesota. It seems like the damaging wind risk will be somewhat diminished. But again, I mean, we're still seeing the purples, pretty high DBZ rates. This is called WSV3 radar program, by the way. And as you can see, it progresses. This would be, now we're moving towards about 12 a.m. Central Time. We've already seen a tornado today. This morning in my morning video, I actually said I think we will see 1 or 2 tornadoes today, and we've seen 1 so far. I'm expecting a very large hurricane season this year, Gav's Weather Vids. Yeah, the main development region is boiling. Everything's kind of coming together. La Nina type conditions, so yeah, I think we'll have a big hurricane year. Let's move it a little bit further, and then it kind of breaks up further. So we're still going to have some severe weather, but I think it's actually the most severe right now. Again, if you're just joining us, you can really help out the stream and reach more people. These are very dangerous storms. Actually, we have a particularly dangerous warning, basically, for these storms, so it is very dangerous. So if you want to help out the stream and just reach more people, you can do that by just simply liking the stream. That's all you got to do, and it helps the algorithm share it with more people and let them know it's a good stream that has helpful information. It's $20 a month to be able to use this program. Somebody was asking. As our radar is glitching. Okay. So here's that front we were taking a look at here. And again, look at how it just spreads like a wildfire here. Not what you want to see. Yeah, definitely, as Red Eden pointed out, I think a particularly dangerous situation, severe weather watch. I think that's, like he said, pretty unique, but at the same time as well, I think that the only situation that could give us that other than a tornado watch would be a very strong wind type event like this. This feature is going to bring you guys probably, if you don't live here, aren't going to take this seriously, but if you were anywhere along the front edge of that storm, you are dealing with damaging winds right now. With this type of storm, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. It's happening if you're in front of this one. And that's why it's a particularly dangerous situation, severe thunderstorm watch here, because it's going to be doing widespread damage. And actually, if we go back, what I'll do here is I'm going to end this drawing that I did there, that wonderful drawing. And I'm going to zoom in on some of these damaging wind reports we've gotten. Let's see, this one here. I think sometimes they say certain details. Here in Grand Forks, I think that's on the North Dakota side, if I'm correct, we got 4 separate damaging wind reports here. So definitely had some gusty winds move through there. Everywhere else, there's not a lot of population, so you're obviously not going to get a ton of reports. Okay, let's not spam the chat, guys. Fire department reported that one. Public reported that one. Amateur radio. All right. Yeah, we got all sorts of reports in here. The list goes on, but we've had about half a dozen reports in here of damaging wind, and that's been kind of the progression, as you can see, of this linear storm. And again, it just looks like a fire spreading. And if you're on the pointier edge there, that's where we're going to have the most damaging winds, the leading edge of this. If you're on the edge over here, you're probably not dealing with as much of damaging winds. But what we'll do actually to confirm that is we will take a look at the actual speed of the wind here. And it looks like about 50 mile per hour winds in there. Getting some upper 49 miles per hour. Over here, it's a lot closer to 30, which again is still pretty strong, but compared to over here, it's maybe about half of what we're seeing over here on this northern edge. And again, this is the quickest moving in the leading edge of it, so that assumption was about right. You can see the leading edge is right there, and that seems to have been pretty consistently the most violent area of damaging winds there. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much what we're looking at. Yeah, I would say this is the fastest moving spot of the entire thing. So if you're anywhere here in Minnesota, actually, by this point, I would attempt to say the name of that town, but I would not like to embarrass myself. So if you live there, I would definitely be on the lookout, because the strongest area of those thunderstorms is heading right for you, like I said before. Is this rare? I wouldn't say necessarily. Seeing a particularly dangerous situation, severe thunderstorm watch, is kind of odd, and I would say probably pretty rare. But we have seen this type of storm structure, I would say at least once a year, usually. Somebody who knows weather history pretty well, if they're in the comments, could let me know. But yeah, how's everybody's day going? What state does everybody live in? Is there a lot of people that live in this region that's being impacted, or are you from all across the country? Um, let's see. So our model had this area over here organizing better, so we're gonna watch it very closely. I got Iowa, Minnesota, Virginia, Pennsylvania, California, New Hampshire. I love New Hampshire, by the way. Um, wow, yeah, we're all over the country, guys. You see, this is what I love. Is it really makes me flattered when I realize that a lot of people are just watching just to watch. They don't even live in these regions, and that really flatters me. That you guys want to come here and hang out and be a part of the stream. I really appreciate it. Um, let's see what we're at as far as likes, guys, because I know, like, um, I don't want the likes for the attention. I promise. I know it always seems that way because I'm always saying like the video, like the video, like the video. It helps the algorithm share it with more people, so we can reach more people with the helpful information. So that's why I keep reiterating it. And we have 144 likes. Great job, guys. Keep it up. If you're just joining the stream, be sure to like it. It really helps reach more people by doing that. So, yeah, what Red Eden said is pretty much spot on what I was thinking. Um, yeah, usually you need a tornado watch to get a particularly dangerous situation. So I think the only other way would be a very dangerous, damaging wind type event, and that's what we're kind of looking at right now. It's a very violent bow echo we have here. Whenever we see this type of storm structure, again, for the people just joining us, you're basically guaranteed not only, but you're pretty much guaranteed to have damaging winds along the front of this bowed out structure, as well as down here along our gust front there. That is going to bring some possible damaging winds, if not nuisance winds, with it as well. Over here, we have a little less damaging winds than we have right here, because this is the leading edge here on the more northern end of the storm. The fastest moving area in the storm is obviously going to have the most damaging winds. Let's see. Live in Toronto. That's cool. We have a lot of international people. Got somebody from UK. Welcome. I love seeing people from all over the world. Let's see. Wow, we've had 100-mile-per-hour gusts today already. Wow. Let's put this in motion real quick. Again, it just looks like a wildfire spreading. And actually, something I've been noticing for the past 5 or 10 minutes or so is we've had these reds building in further and further on this edge. This edge here, the northern edge of this, is intensifying still at this point. Very interesting to see that happening. 101 mile per hour winds. So yeah, that is definitely damaging, and I can see why we had a particularly dangerous situation. Let's put on tracks. This might get a little cluttered. Yeah, definitely. Never mind. I wonder if we have hail in any of these. Yeah, I know we have some hail over there. Potentially some hail along our main front here, but the ones out west are definitely having more hail factors there. Let's go back to this as our velocity, and this kind of tells the whole story with the wind. Again, this area is where we have the most violent winds, and it's kind of spreading southward as well. Seeing areas in here getting more of those pink colors, which is higher, probably around 40 mile per hour. Yeah, so we're definitely seeing some pretty damaging winds. Yeah, we can actually see the wind speed here if I quickly look at it. Let's see. 56 mile per hour, 61, 0. I'm pretty sure that's not accurate. 73, 68, 61, 58, 0. 56. I'm not seeing a 101. 66 over there. So it seems like the upper 60s there, as far as wind speed, has been pretty common. Here's something interesting. Look at that. This shows exactly what I was trying to show you guys earlier. See along that gust front? You see that damaging wind report? That came from the gust front, not the storm. See? So I told you guys it can cause damaging wind, and you don't even see it. It's not even clouds in the sky. It's just wind. Well, I guess there could be clouds along it, but yeah, just wind out in front of the storm. And we got a damaging wind report from that. So wow. You can always see it on radar though. You'll see this green little line. It's a gust front every time. They're very common during all types of thunderstorms. Yeah, if you're just joining, I'd greatly appreciate it if you liked the stream. It helps reach more people. The algorithm really likes to see that, gets the helpful information out to a lot of people that live in this region. We've put the tags for Minnesota and North Dakota so we can make sure to try to reach as many people from these local regions as possible. So yeah, you can do your part by liking the stream. That always helps. Yep, gust fronts appear on radar. Sometimes they don't, but in this case they do. And if you actually frequently look at the radar, I usually notice maybe 5 a year where I'm from in Virginia, so they're very common. Let's see. Thomas said I should be more focused on the western edge, but really this western edge, even though it looks worse, it actually isn't as bad as this edge right here. There is more wind developing here, and we're going to see that start to occur, but this bow feature is our damaging wind region. And this is our particularly dangerous situation area as well. And look at that. I told you guys that the DBZ was going up, that the storm was becoming more intense, and we're seeing those pinks start to build in as well, which is telling me the storm is still intensifying at this point, which is really bad news for areas out ahead of it. Let's see if I can't pull this arrow out. Sometimes it wants to do that, but no. No, it doesn't. This is generally, I can just draw on the screen. This is going to basically be heading in this direction. It seems to be heading pretty straight, I would say eastward. There, that's the ugliest arrow I've ever made in my life. It's pretty much heading towards Bemidji, if that's how you say it, and Black Duck as well. Benna, it's going to be heading towards Kelleher. Well, they're kind of on the northern edge. Walker down here as well. These 3 lakes that look kind of like a Halloween costume face there. I can see 2 eyes and a mouth. Pretty creepy mouth there. Yes, those lakes there are going to begin to become impacted by this one. Oh my gosh, I would call this the spooky lakes if I named things. I've never noticed that. You can see it like from all the way out here. I'm never going to be able to unsee that now. Somebody asked, let's see. This is Minnesota. Somebody said, is there a chance for a high risk? I would say very minimal chance. Could there be a tornado outbreak? Probably not. We've seen 1 so far today, and we might not even see any more. Water spout? I doubt it. Anyway, we're gaining viewers. You guys are doing a great job. Just continue to like the stream if you haven't already, because it helps the algorithm share it with more locals so we can get the helpful information out. A lot of people don't know about this situation probably. That's how it usually goes with severe weather events. People are usually well informed for snowstorms and hurricanes, but I feel like severe thunderstorms go a little bit under the radar, literally. But yeah, people don't pay as much attention to severe thunderstorms or thunderstorms in general, and they can be just as dangerous. These are some very violent storms. Actually, notice they're forming in here near Mayville, right underneath the radar. These ones are certainly flying under the radar, and we're seeing them connect. And this is really where it's all going to become one line. I still think this will be the most violent edge, but over here is going to start to become more linear. And actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at our velocity. Yeah. And sure enough, you can see our gust front there, by the way. This measures wind, so you can tell this has some pretty strong winds along it. This is starting to intensify. By the way, all these yellow boxes are severe thunderstorm warnings, so they are just all over the place. But this is starting to become more of a linear storm mode as well. We've watched it transition from more multicellular, like these ones out here, until they become disco lights, and then finally, they become linear storm mode. I don't know why there's so many, just like, I feel like there's so many bloopers in this video. All right. Let's see. Okay, so back to our front edge. Again, it seems like it's intensifying. It showed pink briefly. These are all signs that it is intensifying. And it's very violent. You can tell by the way it's just kind of moving very fast. Each frame is 1 minute. So this is, you're watching about 10 minutes here. Well, let's see. Actually, maybe about, I'd say probably 30 minutes, better yet. But still, I mean, these have made progress very quickly. Let's see. Can you... People asking a lot of questions. No, I don't think there's going to be too many violent tornadoes from this one. We did have a tornado earlier from these same storms, but I really don't think we're going to see much in form of tornadoes. The bulk shear is very low. Doesn't seem very... I wouldn't say... It seems very favorable for tornadoes today. I would say more likely just wind threat generally, and maybe some chance for hail. This gust front kind of wants to extend out this way a little bit, but I just can't get it done. And again, we did have a damaging wind, an actual damaging wind report here from just this gust front alone. I'm sure as this approaches Bemidji, we're going to see some more... Thanks, Reddington, for taking care of that. We're going to see more damaging wind come in here. Again, I'm really wanting to watch this kind of come together. You see it turned yellow. We're seeing some oranges, but at first there was nothing, or maybe some light greens. But it's beginning to come together, and this is all going to be one line, it appears. And if it bows out that large, we're looking at a very serious situation for Fargo, Detroit Lakes there. Fergus Falls down below. What is the biggest risk for tornadoes today? I would say the biggest risk for tornadoes is already passed, especially considering we already had a tornado. If I can find where that is. And maybe it's already been so long ago it might be gone, but there was a confirmed tornado, I believe, earlier today. Let's see. I guess the most major cities this one's going to hit is, well, first off, it hit Grand Forks, Hillsborough here, Bemidji, Fargo possibly. Let's see. And eventually Park Rapids. So I wouldn't say major cities or anything, but... Yeah, I would say there's definitely a widespread wind threat, especially if we begin to see these areas intensify with the winds, which so far we are seeing as you see the brighter colors begin to show up. Even could get some rotation here on the southern end, actually, possibly. But mostly over here is where we have the strongest winds at this point, it appears. Somebody said, will there be tornadoes for New York? I don't think today. As far as I know, I don't think so. Um, let's move back to our radar. Let's see, we're seeing this edge become a little more intense as well. By the way, again, if you're just joining us, you can like the stream to really just get the word out. We've hit 300 likes. I greatly, greatly appreciate it, and you guys are really helping out to bring the viewership up. Also, if you feel inclined to donate, you can always hit that super chat button on the bottom right, but you don't have to feel like you have to, obviously. But if you did feel inclined, you're always welcome to do that, of course. I would definitely not be mad. Let's see. Let's see if I can't kind of pick up on any other details. I'm going to want to see if this becomes a little more organized. We could start to see a very defined line within this area very quickly. If these two kind of come together, and this is already coming together with this end. So very quickly, 99 Wolves, I'm going to make you mod for now, so you can help. All right. $300 likes. We're doing a great job, guys. Thank you so, so much. We are currently watching as this storm intensifies. Also, the purples are kind of coming back here, and then they went away again. But we really are looking at a pretty intense situation here, especially right here near Bagley, or Bagley, however you say it. Let's see. We're going to need to watch also on this end. We might see this come together. I really, really, really think that this is going to be the western edge of our more linear storm mode. Again, we've watched this kind of join together in this area. You can see it really got its act together in this area, and it's becoming one big line. A very intense line of thunderstorms here. Fargo, you're about to get hit by this gust front, so if you are in Fargo, looks to be a very big city, and I've heard of it before, so it probably is. Yes, but you are about to get hit with kind of the, I guess, the beginning of what is going to be a pretty big wind event for you guys. So we're going to watch this very closely. Also on this edge, you can see we have pretty intense, especially over here, it seems to be intensifying as well. Over here in these more deeper, bright red colors. I set up this color table on my own, like I said before, specifically so that it would be easier for me to read, and I can know exactly what each color code means. So it really does, you can tell it's very separated by green and then yellow and then orange and then red. It's not really meshed together. It really has a defined edge between each color, and it gives you a really good idea of what each area is looking at. Now, I don't agree with them getting rid of the severe thunderstorm warning right there on what is probably the worst and most damaging area along this front right now, so I don't know what all that was about. We have, the winds are actually getting stronger along this front right here. Yeah, this one severe thunderstorm warning got canceled, but we have plenty around. Matt K donated $15. Thank you so much. First responder down in Ohio. Watch your stuff daily and have helped plan and prepare at our station, especially back in April when a tornado hit our town. Keep up the great work. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I love hearing stories like that. Thank you so much. You just made my day. I think what we're going to do is we're going to switch over to slow mode to prevent the to prevent any more issues. Let's see. I think it's here. What we're going to do is 30 seconds in between each message, maybe 20. That'll give us enough time to hide anybody from the channel if we need to. All right, let's go back to the radar. Yeah, I think this is probably the most dangerous area along the front right now, especially where it looks like potentially some rotation is set up. Wow. So, let's see here. We'll need to watch this closely. That does look like an area of rotation if you ask me. Yeah, that's an area of rotation for sure. And this is kind of an edge right here. I would say we could have a quick spin up tornado right here, just south of Bagley. Let's check the correlation coefficient, and that's not going to tell us much. That might be picking up wind damage along this front, actually, with those lower values indicating larger objects. Oh, and it's glitching out again. Here we go. Yeah, definitely looking at the chance for a tornado within this region. It looks like there's maybe 2 areas now of concern. Wow. Bust? Come on, man. Some of y'all. Somebody said bust already. I would say this has been definitely not a bust so far for these areas where we've had damaging wind widespread throughout this region of Grand Forks, Warren, all throughout these regions. Let's see. Yeah, I would say this has not been a bust. In our moderate risk area so far, it's only, I would say, taken up the top left corner. And we've had one, two hail reports there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damaging wind reports so far. And it's only taken up 1/4. Certainly not a bust. I don't know what you expected if you think this is a bust, because it certainly was never going to be a tornado outbreak. We're just getting started here, and it is coming together. It's intensifying further. Yeah, Wisconsin and Michigan was never good getting storms from these, so that might be why you think it's a bust. As we can see, this looks so violent right here. Hello, Amtrak Rail fan. How's it going? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I would say the biggest areas at risk right now is Bemidji and Fargo here, where we're gonna see this area that is just now intensifying. These areas are the two next areas I'm going to be watching. Looks like this gust front has now reached Fargo. If you're in Fargo, let us know, or anywhere near Fargo. Did the Fargo... You said it just picked up a wind gust in Fargo? Yeah. This gust front is a hefty one, I would say, just based on how it's been so far. Jennifer, yes, they are pretty much the same thing, yeah. And it looks like we've had a renewal of that severe thunderstorm warning here for a Bemidji or Bemidji. Oh, this is going to reach Fargo, I would say. It is tracking very quickly southward here. If not, these ones to the west will definitely get them. Anyway, I know this is extremely disappointing, guys, but I'm going to have to get off very soon. I actually have an online meeting to attend at 8 p.m., and it's 7:55 where I'm at right now. I have absolutely kept this one going to the last moment. I know it's disappointing, and I wish I didn't have plans, because the stream has been very good. I know. It did not... Today did not work out the way I thought it would. Look, I want you guys, if you live in these regions, just know one thing. This doesn't need to have a tornado warning to be dangerous. This is a particularly dangerous situation today. Stay safe. Stay safe, guys. This is a very dangerous storm, and again, you don't need a tornado warning to be in the danger zone with this one. This can cause straight line wind, just as damaging as tornadoes. Some tornadoes, that is, of course. Alright, I will see you guys later. Thank you so much for watching, and for those of you that donated, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys as well. We just had another wind report, by the way. If you guys want more content like this, be sure to subscribe before you leave. We have plenty of weather-related content if you are interested in that, if you enjoyed it. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one.